Welcome back in Bear Down. Not a fun day for me. I'm grumpy. I am really grumpy, guys. After watching the coverage of camp today, watching what's out there, I'm grumpy. I'm so pissed off at the Bears and the way they're handling things. It kind of helps me answer the question, why does the national media hate us? It's because our own freaking ownership won't make smart decisions. Today, having the Bengals in camp, Bengals official account is out there posting stuff like crazy. And of course, you're going to get a one-sided narrative. You're going to get all these good plays from the Bengals because they're posting stuff. And the Bears won't let our reporters, our media, our people post anything. They're trying to keep it look close. But you can't control the Bengals. What did they think? The Bengals would just say, okay, no, we won't post anything. We won't do anything. Of course not. So the Bengals are out there posting left and right. And all you see is negative, and it's pissing me off today. I'm a little bit grumpy. Sorry, claws up, bear down. I'm grumpy. So with that, we'll get into a little bit of stuff. Right here, Matt Eberflus is announcing after camp today, after practice today, that the starters will be playing on Saturday. How long that will be, nobody knows. I would expect maybe a series, probably just one series. Maybe if it's a 3-and-out couple series, I don't think it'll be 3-and-out, but that's kind of what he's announcing there. Chicago Bears starting secondary picked off Joe Burrow 3 times today. So thank you, Ben, for announcing something positive. Because if you go through here and you just see the highlights from today, that's not today's highlight. Here's one highlight. Boop. There's Trey Hendrickson sacking Caleb Williams. Little boop on the head. Boop. And that's from Cincinnati. I mean, just go to their account. That's all you get to see today because the Bears weren't allowed to do anything. They weren't allowed to. So they see a pass breakup from Caleb Williams. And then you see Joe Mixon go for a long run. Then you see, I wasn't Joe Mixon. Who was that? Chase Brown? Was it Chase Brown? Yep. Chase Brown. Then you see a catch by them. All you see today is stuff from the Bengals because the Bears camp wouldn't let us release anything. So I'm grumpy. I am officially grumpy. I want to see some highlights later. Please show me the highlights later because it wasn't one-sided. There's not just one side to camp, and I guarantee the Bears just didn't go from being the hyped-up, exciting team, highest scoring team, highest blowout of the first preseason game. I get it's preseason. I get that, guys. I'm not trying to be crazy or anything, but it does make me grumpy when it's one-sided and we don't get to see the whole freaking picture. I want to see the whole thing. So I'm actually going to get into part of that. So up till now, the thing that set this off today is this. Too many screens at once. ESPN Plus put out their article today, the win-loss record, ceiling and floor for all NFL teams in 2024. And I just focused, obviously, on the NFC North. You see the Lions 13-4 as a ceiling, floor 8-9. Bears 11-6, floor 6-11. Vikings 9-8, ceiling, floor 4-13. This is before J.J. McCarthy got hurt. I do like the Vikings. I don't think they're 9-8 ceiling. Then the Packers ceiling 12-5 and floor and 7-10. Guys, I've kind of staked this whole channel on the fact of showing a lot of stuff about how Jordan Love was the 33rd most accurate quarterback in the league. He's a fraud. He's an absolute joke. He throws improperly. He's got a hitch in his throw. If you think Justin Fields was bad, you put Jordan Love on the Bears team and you watch how bad Jordan Love did. I absolutely will stake everything that I think he's a trash quarterback, 100%. He's got Matt LaFleur. That's the big difference. So will the Packers do well this season? They'll probably do fine. They've got a much harder schedule than the Bears, and the Bears have one of the easiest schedules in the league. We're facing the 3 easiest teams from last year, and then the common opponents is the rest of our division. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through our entire schedule. I'm going to show you the updated Vegas odds. I'm going to show you some of those things. But the one thing that I kept coming back to is why is national media? Because you listen to people on ESPN and Speak and FS1 and even Pat McAfee today. He admitted on his show, I watched his show today, he admitted, I hadn't looked too much into the Bears until they're on Hard Knocks. And obviously Hard Knocks gives every team a boost that's on Hard Knocks. And I'm starting to think, oh, man, yeah, these guys have some playmakers. They've got DJ Moore and Jalen Johnson, and they've got a rookie quarterback that looks like he knows what he's doing. And it might be time to start coming around on the Bears. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. I like Pat McAfee. But when they say stuff like that, they obviously have a bias against the Bears from the start. They didn't give us a fair shot and a shake, and nobody's realizing how big of an overhaul we did this year. And we did. You stack up this team, And what we have against any other team in the league right now, we've got 2 wide receiver ones. We've got 2 tight end ones. This offensive line, after seeing Nate Davis come back and watching Coleman Shelton in that first game, I'm not nearly as down on him. My only concern right now is defensive end on the one side, and I really think DeMarcus Walker is a solid run defending defensive end. He's not going to get you your high sack numbers, but he contains really well. He can do well with someone like Montez Sweat on the other side, getting the pressure and collapsing it with him. The problem is we don't have the inside. Gervon Dexter has completely overhauled his body. It is overhauled. He looks completely different. He looks like an absolute menace, like a beast, and I can't wait to see how he does. It's a question mark, though. It is. And then the other one, Andrew Billings, good run stuffer, good in the middle. He's going to be able to contain, but he's not the big pressure guy either. It would be nice to have one more. That's why I wanted to see us go for a Christian Wilkins. That was one of the biggest moves I said in this offseason. I want to see us go get that defensive tackle stud to pair up with Gervon Dexter, take the pressure off him, work with Andrew Billings, Christian Wilkins, and Gervon Dexter, the three of them being a three-headed machine right up the middle, be able to get the pressure on this type of defense needs, a three-technique defense. I would love to see it. We didn't do it. Next year in the draft, a lot of people think, and I was there too, that we'd go get a defensive end first. And I agree. Defensive end is stacked in next year's draft. But this year's draft, 2025, is going to be loaded with defensive tackles that are really solid too. There should be 5 or 6 off the board in the first round. This will be a defensive line unit. Now, I'm going 500 miles an hour. I know, guys. I'm actually supposed to be driving right now up to a wedding 300 miles away. And I just wanted to go live first. I've got too much in my head with this freaking team. This team freaking is obsessive to me. And I know you guys are here with me, and that's why you're here right now. But I freaking love this team. This team is going to be fun. It's going to be special. The reports coming out are that the Bears, a lot of people didn't see this. You saw my video this morning about Trey Hendrickson. I really think it's possible. I really do. I'm not just putting that out for satire. I really believe that's possible. And as a reminder, that is who booped his head right there. That's Trey Hendrickson. Absolute beast. If you didn't see the video on him, go check it out. He's an absolute menace, and he would be perfect across some sweat. There would be no quarterback that feels comfortable playing against us. With our secondary and those 2 defensive ends, it would be absolute wrecking ball. It would be glorious. I would absolutely love it. All right. Train of thought. Wrap it back in. Bring it back in, Adam. We got things to cover before I have to leave. So, the national media, they don't ever really give us a fair shake. They're starting to see Hard Knocks might be helping, but you look at this team, you see DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert, and now with Ian Wheeler and Velus Jones, our wide receivers. We've got at least 3 solid wide receivers, possibly 4 if Tyler Scott can come around. I don't know what his hiccup is between camp and games. If you're asking who I want to see in 2 days from now play really, really well, I want to continue to see to the defensive line, but I want to see Tyler Scott have a game. I want to see him show that he can be that 4th person on the wide receiver core to be able to make a difference. But even then, if we only have 3, you've still got Gerald Everett and Cole Kmet. That's 5. I mean, it's solid. So let's go over. I'm gonna get into it now. Here's what their predictions are. Give me some puke emojis there. Give me some cheese emojis, guys. Give me what we've started doing. The Packers are frauds. I can't stand it. So if you guys remember my video, I did a position by position overview, the unbiased best of the best NFC North. What ended up happening, low grade was best. And let me take me off the screen. You see the overall grades. The Lions are stacked. They're stacked this year. They had a score of 19. The Bears had a score of 25. And if we do go out and get a defensive end, like the report is, we were going after Matthew Judon. We offered a 3rd rounder, and the Patriots went ahead and went with Atlanta's 3rd rounder because they felt Atlanta would probably give them a better draft pick than we would. They have confidence in the Bears. Other teams have confidence in us. The national media, for some reason, doesn't. And then the Packers and the Vikings both had grades of 31. So here's my updated, especially after J.J. McCarthy got hurt, here's my updated kind of where I had a record prediction, but let's go through it. Let's go through it right now. So here's what I originally put down as this is when the schedule release happened. So a month and a half, 2 months ago, this is what I said, okay? Titans, we're at home. All the hype, it's a win. Loss, 50-50 games, win, loss, blah, blah, blah. You go through it, ends up equating to 10.5 wins, okay? And I thought that was a very fair analysis. Today, I'm going to put my Bears homer cap on. We're absolutely slaying it this offseason. We're killing it. First preseason game gave us some confidence. And then you hear the rumors we're going to trade. We freed up cap. I mean, we did. We changed Romo Dunze's contract. Not Rome's, I'm sorry. DJ Moore's contract to be able to free up. We got about 21 million cap space. Then when you hear about Matthew Judon and us going after him, clearly we're going to go after a defensive player. I don't think we're going to go attack that offensive line. With Nate Davis healthy, and it was a groin issue, guys. So everyone giving crap to Nate Davis, I get it. We want to see the best ability is availability. We want to see him on the field. He's been on the field 3 days in a row now. Groin injuries are an absolute pain. They're terrible. You don't want to rush back from him. He's been on the field 3 days. I feel good about it. But we're really short up. We're a lot better than we were last year, and I don't know if they're going to attack. Maybe they will when 53-man cutdowns happen. I've talked to you guys about the Browns potentially having some players that they might cut. Now the rumor is they might be restructuring one of those. We'll see what happens, but I'm not saying we won't attack the offensive line anymore, but I really feel like we're running into this season with this offensive line unit. The fact we didn't go after Connor Williams, which we all wanted, I advocated for hard on this channel. The fact we didn't go after him for $3 million contract, $6 million contract, when I said we should go get him for $8, $9, $10 million with some incentives and some kickers, we didn't do that. So clearly, we like that Coleman Shelton was the 16th, 17th best rated center in the league last year. We're just a little worried about him getting a little bit older. We like Ryan Bates, clearly, because we tried to trade for him. We tried to sign him in a restricted free agency 2 years ago. Our qualifying offer is the one that that's his contract right now. What we structured for him is the contract he's on. Then we go trade for him, and we got him. And then you've got Nate Davis still, Tevin Jenkins, who's an absolute beast, and I do expect him to get extended midway through the season when he stayed healthy. Then you got Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright's the only one giving me a little bit of concern this offseason, but I'm not too concerned because you saw really good things out of him last year. Sorry, guys. I see some stuff happen in the chat. I'm going to put this user in timeout just because I see a lot of people mentioning them. I'm not reading it, but I'm going to trust some of the guys that I know a lot on here. I catch out of the side of my eye. So anyways, back to it. So I'm not thinking we're going to do much with the offensive line. I do think we'll go out and get a defensive end. Who's that going to be? My proposal this morning was Trey Hendrickson. Go watch the video if you want to. But with that, you're going to see the pundits. You're going to see them come around and say, oh, the Bears are serious about this year. And that's the biggest thing. That's what Ryan Poles has shown and Matt Eberflus is showing. They truly believe in Caleb Williams after what they've seen. And they are now saying, okay, we've got a 4 or 5 year window right now where we're going to open this sucker up and we want to win a championship. So we have justification to finally extend a Bears quarterback. We're going to go out and make this a championship caliber team this year. There's no other reason the Bears would have changed DJ Moore's contract the way they did and extended him a year early, because I said on this channel, probably won't extend him until next year. The only reason you're doing that is to be able to free up cap space to make yourself a championship contender this year. Where are those two biggest pieces of weakness? You can say the offensive line, but it's really offensive line depth. We're okay on offensive line. We have to see, because so much has changed on the offensive line. That defensive line, we didn't even have a fourth defensive interior. Byron Cowart is showing that he possibly could be. I still think we could pick someone up. I got a video tomorrow with my 3 moves we should make. You guys will see in there. I think we should pick someone up. Defensive end, DeMarcus Walker's okay. He's okay, but he's not going to blow your socks off. But if you had someone like Trey Hendrickson and Montez Sweat on each side, teams will fear us with our defensive backs. They absolutely will. I'm not sold on Kevin Byard. I like Kevin Byard. Not trying to say anything negative. I really wanted Xavier McKinney. So when you have Xavier McKinney in your head and you're really excited about Xavier McKinney, and then you get Kevin Byard, it's a 1A, 1C consolation prize, but I think McKinney would have been a lot better for us. We didn't get McKinney. Ended up going to the and we got Kevin Byard. I still like Kevin Byard. I think if he can return to his 2021, 2022 style of play, going to be great. Last year was a little bit rough. So let's get into this. 10.5 wins is what I said before. Here is the updated Vegas odds. And on Pat McAfee's show, they showed a plus minus of 7.5 wins. That's what they said Vegas odds were. Vegas odds started at 8.5 wins. So I don't know where they got that crap from. The current odds, because everyone is starting to come around on the Bears, the current odds are plus or minus 9, which is the same as the Packers. Packers are actually 9.5, I think. Screw the Packers, though. But look at the individual games. This is as of this morning. As of this morning. All right. First game, we're favored. Second game, not favored. Third game, not favored. Fourth game, favored. Fifth game, favored. Sixth game, even, which is interesting because that's really a home game for the Jaguars. It's our home game, but it's a home game for the Jaguars because it's in London. Either way, doesn't matter. Washington favored, Arizona favored. So those who don't know sports betting and all that, I'm not advocating. In fact, guys, my first sponsorship opportunity on this channel has been through the same ones you see everywhere else, BetUS and gambling.com and all that. I'm not going to do that on this channel. I'm not trying to say any channel who is doing that is bad. Not at all. I support all of our content creators, all of you guys. Great. I love the Bears community. I'm not going to sponsor a gambling channel. That's not what I'm going to do. I don't want degenerate blah, blah, blah. Anyways, don't need to justify. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not promoting gambling here. If you do bet responsibly. In fact, I go down and I put small amounts. I put already on Caleb Williams winning the offensive player of the year or rookie of the year. The Bears having the over on the wins loss, but I put like $25 on each bet. So I'm not anyways. Sidetracked again. Then you see this whole run there on week 7 through 13. Favored. We're favored against the freaking Packers, guys. Man, I had a screenshot of that too. How do I pull that up? Anyways, we're favored now in that game. So FGB, screw you guys. We're favored by a point. Screw off. All right, and then you get into the last stretch, and it is a rough stretch. The Lions were underdogs, Niners underdogs, Vikings favored, Lions underdogs, Seahawks, and then the last game they don't typically give a favorite on those games because so much is up in the air, and so many teams might be sitting players on the last week, so it's unranked right now. But we were favored against the Packers. I would assume we'd be a slight underdog in Lambeau. I would assume that. So. But this is where, but if you tally that up, guys, 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.5. The unranked one, maybe 11. So our plus or minus is 9, but by individual game by game, they have us winning 10.5, 11 games. So what the F? Why are all these national pundits say, okay, Bears might win 8 games. They might win 9 games. Their floor is 6.5 and their ceiling's 11, 6. It doesn't make sense other than they're just not wanting to buy the hype because they don't believe the Bears can really get there. So I'm going to go through game by game. They don't believe in us because it's new, but this is a whole new team. It's a whole new year. It's a whole we're so built for this that I'm going to buy into the hype. So here's my predictions game by game, and I'm going to give you score predictions too. And these, of course, will change as we go along. But I'm completely bought into this. And I think with all the hype on this team, this is going to be a blowout game. And I respect the Titans, but we're going to blow them out. Vegas odds have us 4.5. I'm going to go through these quick. If you guys want to look back later, you can. We're going to win this one 33-17. Game 2, I'm going to give a little respect to the Texans. We're going down to Texas, Reliance Stadium. Houston, we're going to go play there. We're 3.5 underdogs, and I think they'll beat us 24-21. 1-1. Our record will be at the bottom here. Colts is going to be a tough one. They have a solid defensive line. Their secondary is a little weak, but their line is solid. I see this being a close one. We're underdogs by 2 points, but I can't see with their secondary us losing this one, so I've got us winning 19-16. Rams at home, I see being a close one as well. The Rams are a solid team. We're 1.5 point favorites, 21-19, 3-1 record. And yes, this is one of those things where this is where I think the momentum of this beginning schedule is going to take up for us, and we're going to build momentum, and we're going to start being a juggernaut mid-season. You're going to see that rookie turn into a absolute veteran right at the beginning of the season. They're already talking about how Caleb Williams on Hard Knocks, explaining concepts to Rome Odunze on the side of the field. Even Matt Eberflus said, yeah, he does act more mature than his age, football knowledge-wise and on the field. He's a vet. He's already a vet. I realize he hasn't taken an NFL snap in the season. I think this beginning stretch will absolutely do that. That loss to the Texans will become important to be able to rally the troops and see what we can do. Bears beat Panthers 33-19. On to London. I do think it'll be a very close game. The Jaguars are basically a home team, but I don't have confidence in the Jaguars this year at all. Very young receiver core. A lot of hiccups they've gone through. 27-24. Then we have the bye week. I do think this will be a closer game than a lot of people think in Washington with their team that's been revamped. They're also new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new system, new quarterback. Jaden Daniels looked fun. He doesn't look as fundamental as Caleb Williams. So I'm more excited about the Bears. I got the Bears 2018 here. Go to Arizona. That's a tough game to win. In Arizona, I think Arizona's improving as well. Bears win 24-17. Yes, I have us at 7-1 now. Then we're facing the Patriots. I think this will be a blowout, 27-10. Look at that stretch of those first 9 games. Those are all winnable. If we knock off the Texans and start this season 9-0, the hype on this team will be all-time high. This will turn the national media into Bears fans. Everyone will be a Bears fan. This fan base will be going crazy. I got the Bears winning this one 27-10. Then we hit the gauntlet, is what I call it, where we have 3 games in a stretch of 11 days, and on the second time, a stretch of 10 days. So this will be tough, but this is the first one where we face the Packers, and I think we kill the Packers. I think we slaughter them. I absolutely, truly believe they are frauds. This is on my birthday, the day before Caleb's birthday, and we're finally favored to beat them now. 1-point favorites. I have us beating them 37-23. Let me remove myself from the stage for this one. All right, against the Vikings, we are favored by 3. It's at home, and I think we absolutely put a slacking on them with the momentum we've built. At this point, we're going to be 10-1. And I know, guys, I want to beat the Lions too. This is a Thanksgiving game in Detroit. It's hard to win that game, and something's got to give us a little humble pie. I think it's a close one. I think the Lions win it last second, 24-21. I got us at 10-2. Then we go on the road to the Niners. That's a hard one to win. I love Levi Stadium. It's a fun stadium to go to. I'm probably going there again this year. 26-27. I got the Niners beating us by 1 point, but this is where everyone starts to realize the Bears are for real. The Bears are a real team. We're 10-3 at this point. Then the second gauntlet. 3 games in 10 days. I got us beating the Vikings. I've got to move myself from the screen. Beating the Lions in a redemption, reversing the script on them, 24-23, and then beating the Seahawks. Yes, we're 13-3. And then the final game, beating the Packers in Lambeau in a tight one, 24-19. 14-3. Who says no? You guys can say I'm crazy. I'm off my rocker. I'm taking the hype on this one, guys. I'm finally buying into it. I've seen enough from Caleb that I truly believe in it, and I'm going against these national pundits, and I'm going to say, screw all you guys, because this team is for real, especially when we add a defensive lineman. When we make some kind of transaction in the next week, I'm all in. I'm all in on the hype. I'm all in on people calling me a homer, on a Bears fan, whatever. It's real this year, and I'm not afraid of it. I truly believe we're going to the playoffs. I said 10.5 wins before. I said that's where we would be at. That's what I said. I'm going all in. I'm saying we're going 14-3. This is serious prediction. I'm with it. So that's what I got for you guys. Enjoy the game this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't care if we win or lose. This is preseason. I don't care. I want to see this young line, this young defensive line get some reps. I want to see Daniel Hardy. I want to see some more Austin Booker. I want to see Dominic Robinson get one more shot. I want to see Jamari Chroma. And on the offensive side, I want to see Bill Murray continue to kick some butt. I want to see Coleman Shelton get his reps. I want to see things clean between him and Caleb. I want to see Caleb drive us down and get a touchdown. I think that bothers some of these guys on this team when they see people complaining that we had 2 scoring drives. 2 drives, both of them scoring. Doesn't matter if it was a field goal or a touchdown. It's fun to see the touchdowns. I get that. But all you're trying to do is establish yourself. And he did that. If you didn't see my all-22 breakdowns, I saw what I needed to see out of those all-22s. I saw Caleb's vision, his peripheral, seeing the field the way he needed to see it, checking out of things, talking to Rome on the sideline. I saw what I needed to see for me to be excited about this team. All I want to see is these young guys this weekend get a shot. I want to see Rome get a couple completions. I want to see Tyler Scott have a huge game. I want to see Colin Johnson again. That would be a lot of fun. I want to see the quarterback 2 battle. I want to see who's going to emerge. As most of you know, I'm not high on Tyson Bagent like the rest of content creators are. I think the story is really fun. His mechanics are lacking. He was an undrafted free agent for a reason. He's slow processing. He doesn't see it as well, and he panics a little bit. I want to see him improve. I want to see if Austin Reed can upend him. I want to see if Brett Rippon is the real deal, if he's really quarterback too. I want to see Bill Murray do well. I want to see Kieran come back. He won't play this weekend. I hear he's close. I hear it's really close. But I want to see Jatari. I want to see these young guys do really well. And I want to see Brennan Bates and these tight ends continue to show Shane Waldron's offense off, how he plays and manipulates with these tight ends. I want to see that this weekend. So leave in the comments, guys, what you want to see. Yeah, I like that, Atmos. I want to see a few great punts. Let's see Torrey Taylor pin him back again. Let's see what we can do. So I'm sorry, guys. I completely, Rob, I want to see Dan Aykroyd play tackle. Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. Wouldn't that be freaking hilarious? I'm ready to see a Caleb touchdown. Completely, Greg. So, hey, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel. Thank you, all of you guys in the Bears community. This is the freaking best community, and it's finally freaking our time. I'm embracing it. On the screen right there, 14-3. I'm completely accepting that. I want it. And if we can somehow knock off the Texans in game 2, there is a legitimate shot we could start this season out 9-0, 10-0. It's real with this schedule. I know it seems like it's only Bears hype. It's another Bears content creator going crazy. It's another unrealistic expectation. This is the team for it. We finally have it. We haven't invested in wide receivers this way before. We haven't invested in a number 1 overall generational quarterback that was NFL ready today when we drafted him. An Andrew Luck type who took his team to the playoffs and did very, very well his rookie season. I'm ready for it. So with that, appreciate you guys. I do have a video coming out tomorrow. I might go live before the game. I'm going to be up for a wedding, so I'm not going to be around my computer and my stuff here, having my stuff around me to be able to have my comfort zone to do it. We'll see what happens, but I do appreciate you guys. Appreciate this community. It's time. Get excited. We're here. It's happening. With that, bear down and the Bears.